Hey, greetings everyone. This is Shaman, and I'm going to turn the camera around in just a moment, but I'm driving over to see someone at a hospital. This is another family member, and yesterday something had happened where the person had gotten a slight injury. They'd complained about falling on their stomach, and they were really overstimulated and stressed. Well, it's really interesting because I'm going to turn the camera around if I can. Let's see. I guess I can't, so we'll just do it the way it is. Bless up, Ross. Most of my family, I have a large extended family, has not been the most keen about the medicine that I have offered and diligently studied for many decades. Now, when you go into a hospital, since I don't typically have that experience, I've gone in for many of my clients over the years. I've been called to do energy work. I'm on the way right now. The first thing that happens is we're put under, I'm kind of looking like this is what they're doing. You come into the emergency room or the urgent care and you're put under bright examination lights. A quick inquiry is made. What happened? How are you? What's going on? Are you taking any medications or drugs? Have you drank any alcohol? And we proceed to the vital signs. These are so very important in allopathic medicine, and they're somewhat important to me too in what I call or term original medicine. So we put a clip on the finger, we measure the oxygen levels, and I'm a bit tired, and I'll go into that when this ordeal is over. But we measure the blood pressure, and bless up everyone. Good to see you, Suri. Good to see you, Will. Good to see you, Ross. So we take the vital signs. We want to know the body temperature, the blood pressure. We want to know the oxygen level. We take a person's weight. We wheel a scale in there. And one by one, these industrial level Western allopathic workers, and we love them. They're great. I'm very thankful. But they come in and they do things very differently than I do. So a person comes in overstimulated. They've been using something that has them in hyperactivity and verbosity, which could be an opioid, it could be a benzo, it could be meth, it could be whatever it is. They haven't figured it out. So the order of operations is they're going to want to take a urine test so that they can see what's actually in the urine. They can see it through the output, right? And they have the person pee in a plastic receptacle. And then, they want to, it's getting steamy in here, so I'm going to try to open the window. They want to do a blood test. They want to start an IV, just like I showed you on the bag last night where I was at the hospital. And you're going to pay a premium price for a bag full of saline water because you are water and minerals, your trace elements, okay? Those trace elements fund your brain, your bones, your tendons, your ligaments, the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to try to get a better view here. So once that's all done, if you possibly need to spend the night or they view that under medical advice, MA, you need to spend the night. Bless up, Nancy. Good to see you. That's my cousin, Nancy. Okay. So they deem that through medical advice that you need to do this, okay? On and on and on. Now, if someone reports that there was a bit of an accident or they fell or they were beat up or something, car accident, the next order of operations is we're going to ask for the x-ray to find out if you're okay. We're going to use powerful radiation when there's been no findings whatsoever that would warrant an x-ray. Okay? So now, in this particular instance, I wanted to sort of make lemonade out of lemons, if you will. So Zuri, you're going to really understand this, and so will many other people. But Zuri, I think you're really going to get this. Now, if this person is a very close family member, and that person went through the schools, which, probably wasn't the favorite choice, the schools are a breeding ground for uniformity and, moreover, for conformity, right? With an emphasis on C-O-N, conformity. In that breeding ground, everyone else goes to the hospital, pretty much, and everyone else goes to the doctor, everyone else goes to the clinic. Just about everyone else in that system gets vaccinations and believes in them Just about everyone else goes to the drugstore and gets over-the-counter cold and flu, quote, medications. Just about everyone else believes in the cold and the flu and all of the mythologies of Lyme's disease and rabies and MS and everything else, which I see as electrical trace element issues and degenerative issues, okay? I see that usually humans can regenerate depending on their age, the severity, and what they have in terms of an ability to regenerate. Who's in their home? Who can help them? What are they going to do with wound care? What are they going to do with their food? What are they going to do with how can they rest? Are they living in a place where there's a lot of drama and trauma? Is there a lot of loud video game noise going and trap music, or can they just be somewhere that's soothing that they can heal? And that's why I want and need a retreat center, because I've got a lot of decades invested and I sure would like to be able to make this happen. Okay? So I'm just about there. I'm going to finish with a couple things. In making lemonade out of lemons, this person is actually really seeing firsthand on multiple occasions that in fact you're going to be overtreated to such an extreme, especially if you have an insurance policy. Just about everyone can have a medical assistance. Many people have a private pay insurance. You know, there's, whoops, I don't see any parking, dang it. I'm going to pull over here for just a moment and see if I can get into another space while we finish. Just give me one moment. Okay. This is an important part that's a nugget that I hope that you get, and I'm going to be completely parked here, okay? Sound a little bit Valley girl. It's probably coming back from my past, being in Silicon Valley. I'm tired, and I'm going into many months of not really sleeping really well. But at least I got about 5.5, 6 hours last night, which is great. In my world, the shaman would have turned the lights down. You would have came into a warm environment with a cotton batted futon that we replaced the covers and kept it clean. There would have been some candles. There would have been some fountains going. You would have been offered a warm cup of tea that would have been sedating, not stimulating. Their trace elements and your herbs are stimulating or sedating. I would have offered you, depending on what I quickly assess, any number of things, catnip, valerian roots, etc., based on a very quick assessment based on many decades of healing. I would have noticed and observed carefully, and then I would have asked you, notwithstanding anything that warranted absolute, urgent, and immediate assistance or first aid, which is not first aid, is not my role. Had you come in the situation that this family member came in, I would have soothed you. But in this instance, the doctors offered Ativan, which is a benzodiazepine. It's powerful, and this particular lorazepam Ativan that will calm people down instantly, 2 milligrams or more, actually exacerbates depression. It can push people into suicidal ideation and tendencies. And it carries a great amount of risk because it takes the person down artificially and it takes them down too fast. Okay? So I did not want to leave until late last night because I know that you're almost putting yourself out there at a risk communicating to any medical professional when you are, what's the word I want to say, vulnerable, to say that you have depression or any suicidal thoughts because you risk a potential of a 72-hour hold or worse, okay? So our medical industry has so much power that if I were to take people and regenerate them neurologically, which I can easily do, regenerate the nervous system, regenerate the myelination, so you're thinking MS, different things, regenerate the heart. In this instance, the Ativan was also given because this person was immediately diagnosed with, given an EKG, which is an electrocardiogram. And this is classic, okay? How people are treated. tachycardia. So this person, family member, said to me, "What's that?" And I said, "What's a tachometer on your car?" Well, of course, if they're younger, they don't know what that is. And I said, "It's telling me your RPMs, your revolutions per minute." So your heart is going a little fast because it's coping with an artificially funded situation. All right, I'm going to say so long for now. But as I spoke with the nurse about thyroid testing, TSH was ordered in a free T4. I said, "Well, do you know why we'd want to have a free T3 and a free T4? And she said, "Well, no, they just always ask for it." And this is a nurse. I said, T3 and T4 each have 3 and 4 respectively iodine atoms, and one of them needs to dislodge to create ATP, which is energy. She goes, "Holy shit, you got a lot of medical and science knowledge." And I said, "Well, I've got a whole lot of common sense." Anyway, if you have any questions, the lemonade out of lemons is sometimes that people have been so stuck in a mindset that is so dominant. And I'm going to do another live stream either today or tomorrow on the games that you played, the billboards that you watch, and the system that pretty soon is not going to be of service to you. It's not going to be client-centered. All right, so long.